Hi, I'm back. Welcome to my second podcast. This is focusing on weight loss and health and all of that. So if you're interested in this topic, go back and listen to my first podcast and you'll get an overview of what I'm going to be talking about here. So, how did your week go? Mine went pretty well, actually. I'm pretty pleased with how I've started off. I've lost a little bit of weight, which is always great when you lose a little bit in the first week. It encourages you to keep going and keep trying. I've been eating very well and I'm happy with the way that I've been eating. I have implemented a lot of the things that I've talked about in my first video, plus a few extra things. So the extra things are, well, I talked in my first podcast about drinking water, and I've noticed something with water, and I think it's kind of important. So I have increased my water intake during the day. I'm not the type of person who likes to, gulp down a whole glass of water at a time. I'm more of a mouthful at a time throughout the day, so I just always have water available to me and just have some whenever I feel like it. But something I've noticed is if I finish a meal, whether it's breakfast, lunch or dinner, it doesn't matter, if I'm still feeling like not quite satisfied, you know how I don't know, for me, I have this thing where it's like if I don't feel full, then I feel like I'm not satisfied. But I'm trying to get my head around the fact that that it's not necessary to be full to be satisfied. You can feel the difference, you know the difference. But if you're used to being full, well, that's like a comfort feeling, isn't it? It's like, well, everything's taken care of. I'm full. I'm not going to be hungry for a while. But if you finish a meal and it's been smaller because you've cut back the portion and you think, oh, well, I don't really feel hungry, but I don't feel full. Okay, so I'm trying to get past that. But anyway, something I have been doing is after the meal is I'll have extra water, and that helps to invoke the full feeling. So there's a little tip for you to try anyway. Now, I'm not talking about, cutting down your meals to such an extent that you're actually undernourished. I'm just talking about, well, what I was doing before was eating way too much. And once you start eating a bit less, you realize that your body needs so little more food than you have been giving it all of this time, that you don't have to eat to the point of being really full. That's not what the body needs. So here's another really important thing I've been doing, and I've always found this important in the past when I was trying to lose weight, is after I finish the evening meal, whatever time that may be, we generally eat pretty early just because we're ready to. I think we got into the habit of eating evening meal early when the kids were little. And so we've just kind of gotten really used to that, and everyone's ready to eat at that time. My husband's home from work and our son's usually home from uni and all of that kind of thing. So we're all ready to eat at that time. But for me, I find it's much better if I have a cutoff point for the day. So after the evening meal, I generally don't eat dessert other than maybe a fresh piece of fruit. Sometimes on Sundays I'll have a small dessert, but I generally find out that I can eat enough of a meal that I don't feel like eating dessert anyway. But then that's my cutoff point. So after that, if other people, say we're watching a movie or something, there might be a bag of chips being passed around. Well, I can't have the chips. So I'm past my cutoff point. I'm not having anything more. Having said that, I've also found that I need a little treat at the end of the day. And it's a little reward for me. So if I've done well throughout the day and I've stuck to a really healthy eating plan and I have fulfilled my exercise quota and that sort of thing, if I've done everything the way that I think it should be done, then I can have a small treat at the end of the day. And that is usually something like a piece of chocolate. And I don't go just like for the cheap chocolate. I like the better quality, strong tasting dark chocolate, that kind of thing, that is really rich and satisfying. But I have to stop at one square because it's too easy for me with my personality to just get another square and then another and then another. And you know how it goes. So I found that an important thing too. It's just to have small rewards. And the third thing that I've really noticed this week, and I already knew this about myself, but because I'm paying more attention to my health at the moment, I guess I'm paying more attention to the things that I already knew about myself, but I'm being reminded of. I need to know, and I think this is helpful for everyone, you need to know your triggers. So is there something that happens that makes you overeat, or that makes you choose the wrong foods, or to, make you feel like having the wrong foods, or that makes you say, oh no, I can't be bothered exercising today, or I was going to do this, but now, oh no, I'm not going to do it now. But mainly the overeating, that's the thing for me, or choosing the wrong foods to eat at a time that I did not plan to. Well, I think my main trigger is overtiredness. And I mean, when I'm overtired, everything goes wrong with me. I can't think clearly, my mood plummets, and that's the time that I will, look for comfort food, like something sweet or whatever it is, and then I'll overeat, and then I'll feel even worse. So I've been trying to concentrate on getting to bed on time. And even if I don't have to go to bed and go straight to sleep, but I try to make sure that I'm in bed at a certain time and I can read there or whatever and just relax. But to just have that discipline of not just staying up and doing whatever it is that I'm doing while I'm up. Usually I'm working, but just to try and have that cutoff point as well, to go, no, actually what I really need is to rest and sleep, and nothing's going to go right unless I do that, so I might as well just accept it and do it. Okay, so I said I've lost a little bit of weight this week. I've lost nearly 1.5 kilograms, and I'm not sure what that is in pounds, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty happy with that as a start. And I did keep to my exercise goals. So my goal was to go for a walk 3 times a week. That was my goal to begin with, and I did obtain that last week, and I'm hoping that I can do the same again this week. I don't think there's any reason why I shouldn't be able to. So everything's pretty much going swimmingly at the moment. It's also, this whole thing has coincided with Lent, and it's just perfect timing really, because Lent is a time as a Catholic to pare back, not just in food or drink, but in everything. So, to strip back things to basics, and to have less of what's in the world and to have more holy and heavenly things. So this has been really good timing, because we're in Lent anyway, and I wanted to strip back the things that I'm attached to. Well, of course, I'm very attached to food. That has had consequences that I now want to reduce. I've been eating a lot of fruit, and I'm really enjoying that. I do love fruit. I really do love it. And we had nectarines and plums in the garden. They've all gone now, unfortunately. Their time has passed, but we're still buying a fair bit of fruit, and I make a point of having fruit every day, finding it really great to have fruit for lunch. I actually love having fruit for lunch. I don't like having a heavy lunch, because I find that makes me more inclined to want to eat more later on, which seems really strange. You'd think if you ate more at lunch you wouldn't feel like eating, but no, it's the opposite for me. It's better for me to keep things light and then to have my main meal in the evening. I've just found that's what suits me. So for example, today I had a smoothie bowl, and someone asked me, what is a smoothie bowl? Well, it's pretty much just what it sounds like. It's, you make the smoothie, because I make smoothies for the kids all the time anyway, and you pour some of it into a bowl, and then you top it with whatever healthy things you want. So in mine I had some banana, and I had grapes, and I had sultanas and oats, and it was beautiful. I love that sort of food. It's just, I love it. And it fills me up well enough until dinner time, and then by dinner time I'm really ready to eat. So I'm enjoying that, and probably as a family we're eating a little bit less meat as well. Several reasons. Once again, because in Lent we don't eat meat on Fridays. We also had Ash Wednesday, so we didn't eat meat then. But also probably just for economical reasons, because meat's so expensive to buy. We're trying to just pare that back a little bit. And also we're trying to use up what's in our pantry at the moment. So it's a bit of an effort of frugality as well, to try and use things up. Like we've got bags and bags of beans in our pantry that, you know, dried beans, that we just haven't used enough. So we're going to try and work our way through those a lot, which is great because then we don't eat as much meat. So I'd love to hear how you're going, how your weight loss plan or your health plan is going. Have you reached any goals this week? Have you lost any weight, or how are you feeling? That's another thing that I wanted to tell you, is that I'm feeling so much better than I was before I started this plan. Just within myself, having control over what I'm eating and knowing that I'm eating things that are really good for me, and getting out and exercising, making myself do it. It's really good for me. Going for a walk clears my head. I think about a lot of things while I'm walking. It's just a really good thing. So I'd love to hear how you're going. And if you've got any questions for me, go ahead and ask. And hopefully I will see you back here next week.